the selection going through there, how did that compare to what you thought it was going to be?
I didn't really, I don't know. I don't really remember what I've always been pretty decent about not having a plan and just kind of going in and
seeing what happens.
Yeah, seeing what happens. I mean, that selection was like everything else, which was, I had a good time, I mean, again, did it suck? Well, yeah, it absolutely sucked. But
how much of the breakdown of how it works can you share?
I mean, I can't share anything because I don't know anything.
Oh, I got you.
I mean, literally, it's the best kept secret in the military. Every time I thought I figured something out, I'd learn something else that would throw that off. Like I literally have no idea. I mean, and I can tell you that guys that have been there 20 years, I'll straight up say, we're all curious and trying to figure it out.
Figure out what exactly?
Just something, like something.
I mean, you know what you went through, though, right?
Yeah, but like time standards or like how it all works together. Nobody knows anything.
I mean, are the guys
even the people when you run it don't know.
Well, who the fuck's pulling the strings?
There's one person that knows everything, and all of it gets reported to them, and they. Again, I don't even know what it is, but they're the ones who, there's one person, the person in charge knows the standard, and that gets passed down to, and that's
replacement,
it. Yeah. And that's the only person who knows. So there's probably now, I don't know, maybe 10 people who have ever known.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that would concern me about an organizational structure such as that is that it almost, not almost, I mean, it invites good old boy corruption as far as who makes it and who doesn't, to a large extent,
Well, no, because the standard's the standard. There is a standard, but nobody knows what it is.
Well, but so, I mean, I guess to play devil's advocate is that how do you know that it's consistent, though, with you versus another guy? If there's one guy making the decision, he can be like, yeah, I don't like this fucking guy, but this guy I do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it just, when you go there, it really is black and white. I mean, there's no, the level of professionalism in that course. I mean, there's no, you know what you know what certain standards are. And if you don't, and then you don't know what certain standards are, but there's no, you either make it or you don't. And they really, like, I'll give you an example. My OTC class graduated 2 enlisted operators, myself and another guy.
Out of how many?
How many? Well, so it's, I don't remember how many we started with, but it's also, from the class, because it's a little bit different because you have the selection class, and then OTC is a little bit different because you'll have people that maybe get pushed because of different reasons and people sub in and out. But my point that I'm making is, like, they don't care.
Yeah.
Like, they'll run a whole course for 2 people.
Yeah.
They'll go through the whole process. I mean, it was, in total about a year, probably a year and a half of total work for that. So,
wow.
It's pretty, and they've had also times where people, have complained about it, and the military goes and investigates, and, I don't think they show them the details of everything, but it's like, nope, this is what it is. So they have some kind of tracking system, but it's, I have no idea the details of it.
I mean, can you lay out just from your experience what the different phases look like, or?
I mean, really, it's just, it's really just a land nav over open terrain, by yourself, which is easy and hard, and what I mean by that is the easy part for me, I didn't mind being on my own, land nabbing on my own. For others, if you're second guessing yourself, or that can be miserable. It's very, there's some people that'll make it in a team environment because they can, kind of get through being the gray man. Whereas in that, it's all on you. You're either, you're in your head the whole time, and you really have to trust your decisions, and you have to also just live with your mistakes in the moment. And you're carrying weight over long distances, but really mentally it's a mind game.
Yeah.
Against yourself.
How long is just the selection?
It's 32 days, 30 or 32 days. I forget.
And that whole time is fucking land nav day in, day out?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, there's some other basic stuff, but by and large, yeah, land nav.
Wow. And then you go to, if you make it, do you remember how many people started, and is it broken down that way where it's a class for selection? And
yeah, I mean, I don't remember the numbers. I know I remember our class was smaller than usual because it was 2003 and Iraq had just kicked off.
Yeah.
And I was there because I was like, we're not going to Iraq. We're in Afghanistan. There's no way, no way. And then of course I'm in, selection, and Iraq kicks off, and I was like, oh, fucking wrong about that one, you know? But so therefore it was a smaller class.
Ballpark, how many started and how many finished?
I really have no idea. No, I actually, whatever I say won't be right, but say probably maybe 50 something like that.
Started?
Around there. Usually it's bigger.
Yeah.
That was small.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go off the picture in my head, but probably 50 something maybe.
About how many made it through?
On that, I think it was 4 or 5.
Wow.
Maybe 5.
Damn, that's crazy. Do people quit during selection often? Or is it usually they get cut?
So the short answer is you don't know.
Really?
They just disappear.
No shit.
Yeah, they just disappear.
God, that's some fucking mystifying shit. I get that it's on purpose.
Well, because you're alone.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they're there and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Like I'll say this. There was a guy, so you do a 16-mile road march, which is like an addition to the PT test. And again, I'm not saying anything that's not, can't go look up on the website for the thing, but it's a 16-mile road march, and I forget the time you have to do it, and I don't remember. For me, I don't give a shit about the standard. I'm going to do it as fast as I can do it. So I ran the whole thing fast as I could go, which, and this guy passed me at the end, who later would be a good friend of mine. But he's a freaking animal. But I was like, son of a bitch, because I thought I was in first, and then I get passed by this guy, and I'm like, damn it, second, all right, fine, whatever. And I just keep going, and I forget the time I did it in, but it was good. I was in amazing shape, and especially with running with the ruck, and I'm done, and this freak, and I'm like, all right, I got second, and me and this guy get back, and we get back to like where we had to take off our shit, and there's another guy there.
You're like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, I'm like, and dude, he had already changed.
Wow.
He must have been done 10 minutes. And I'm like, how in the fuck? Dude, and I'm not exaggerating. He had to have ran 5-minute miles.
Wow.
And it's uphill. Like he did 5-minute miles with a 55-pound ruck.
God damn.
And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, dude. But the reason I tell that story is, I was impressed. I was like, that is incredible. And then like a week later, that guy was gone.
Wow.
And I was just like, that guy?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm still here.
Yeah, that guy was an animal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird, man. Yeah. It's a weird, and it's because you're by yourself, so you don't see, you don't know who quits, who gets pulled, whatever. It's just, you do your thing, man. And you can't compare yourself.
Yeah.
And you just keep going.
Yeah. So that's 32 days ish. And then OTC, operator training course.
Yeah,
is a year
ish. Again, there's some additions to it. There's like the core, and then there's some additions to it. Yeah.
And is that primarily CQB, or are you guys doing
it's
everything?
Look, the one thing I'll say about that course on why I think it's amazing because you can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
A great example being a Navy hard hat diver.
So it can take a guy that knows nothing and turn him into a fucking warrior.
They go, I don't give a shit what you know. You're relearning everything from zero. You start with basic rifle marksmanship.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it progresses insanely fast, but they start you back from zero, which again is, it's very well, it's a very well thought out structure how they do it, and then everyone's on the same sheet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a firm believer in you can't overlearn the basics.
No, and you know the assumption is you were taught the basics wrong, which is
largely accurate.
Yeah. You go back through it and you're like, oh shit, all right, well,
I've been fucking that up for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. So it's again, that was, I'll say this, I would go through selection 5 times again before I do that course again.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a meat grinder.
No shit.
Yeah, that was a meat grinder.
Outside of the marksmanship, the I guess small arms fire, maneuvering tactics, et cetera, what else is there in that course that you can talk about? I mean, there's air ops, right? Jumping and
you're learning. So you're getting into true special operations, and what I mean by that is you're also learning where you're transitioning from military things to things not in full military, like very special operations stuff,
like OSS kind of shit.
Basically, that would be the again the term commando.
Yeah,
you're definitely getting into things that are not just special operations, but specialized special operations. Which for me, being there again, going back to like First Blood and all, there was stuff there that I was like, okay, this is movie cool.
Yeah,
like this is what I'd always hope for. This is that level of cool, and it was exciting for me that existed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After being in the military and, you're always like, nothing is ever as cool as you think. And then
this is the brochure.
Yeah. I was like, all right, this is the video, this is what you had always dreamed of. And it's, and then same thing, with deployments, you're doing stuff that you're like, this is movie cool, and that was always, I mean, it never stopped being, fun isn't the right word. It just
rewarding.
Yeah. It never, I was always aware of, it just felt, it sounds dumb, but it felt like a superhero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, this is like Iron Man jump. I mean, obviously those movies weren't out, but it just felt like you were in a movie.
Yeah.